What is going on, everyone, and welcome to WreckTalk. And I am on a campaign lately to educate the YouTube public. I've always said when I retire, I think I'm going to go teach somewhere. I like educating the people. Now, if by some odd, series of coincidences, you've clicked on this video without knowing anything I'm talking about, you don't know who Geoff Collins is. Geoff Collins is the answer to the question, what would happen if you let a legitimately retarded person coach football? So if you've ever had that question, you don't need to look any further. Just look at Geoff Collins and you'll know exactly what would happen if you did that. Obviously, Geoff Collins was a coach at Georgia Tech and absolutely ran our program into the ground, And look, excuse me, for all the people, and there'll be at least 3 or 4 that comment this, but WreckTalk, why do you have to be so hateful? I mean, he didn't work out at your school. Why didn't you just move on? Shut up. This video isn't for you. You're the person that when you were growing up with your friends, you're like, hey guys, we got to wait 30 minutes after we have cake to go into the pool. And did you ever notice that those people just stopped inviting you to things? It's because you're a buzzkill and nobody likes you. Go away and leave the rest of us adults alone to have our fun. I like hating people just to do it. I've gotten really far in life doing that. And the other side of that will be the North Carolina fan who's saying the same thing. Oh, but it's going to work out this time. I'll show you what North Carolina fans are going to do at the end of the season.
Come on over here. Come on over here. No, you flipped me off. Come on, coward. No. Come on. You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud.
That's what North Carolina fans will be doing at the end of the season. This isn't just me being hyperbolic. I legitimately, I'm going to say this in every video I do about North Carolina. I legitimately believe, even though your schedule is as soft as your defense has been over the last decade, Geoff Collins is going to run your team into such disarray, Mac Brown will retire at the end of this season. He's going to hang it up. I've got to do another video. We had an informant go into your spring game and watch it. I know everything about your spring game and the absolute debacle clown show nonsense that it was. It wasn't really a spring game. You blacked it out because you're afraid Minnesota might get the jump on you. Who knows what you're going to do after they kick your ass. You did practice for like 20 minutes. You had Mac Brown announcing the game. You had your punters were so that you didn't even punt. You just had Mac Brown get on the intercom and say, "Oh, the punt went like 45 yards. Go run down there." Evidently, he didn't even know the mic was live all the time, and he was saying, "Hey, can we please be a little more physical? Can we please just be a little more physical, guys?" You're in for a rude awakening, all right? So I got my bingo card back out, and no one knows this guy like I do. I've already put a challenge out to do a cage match. I put the terms up. I'll sign whatever waiver that you want me to, but he hadn't reached out yet. He's been dodging me. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now, I haven't listened to this. I haven't listened to this at all. This is completely first take. So let's see what we got.
That was fun. All right.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Everybody good? Yep. All right, fire away.
Let's start with the energy. I think it was Elijah told us a couple weeks. Elijah Hussey told us a couple weeks ago that you apologized when you first met with the guys for all the things you're going to say over the next 8-9 months or so. What goes into that, and how important is it to just get that out of the way? Say, guys, it ain't personal. I'm going to tear you apart. We need to be talking.
All right, so we've already let me just let him answer the question. I can guarantee you that we might fill up the whole bingo card in a minute because this is a verified lie, complete. So he's never been hard on a kid in his life. He's never pushed a kid to be better in his life. Again, this is the guy that during practice at Tech, this is true, had people chasing around one another with pool noodles and cardboard cutouts of whoever. So let's hear what he has to say about
But
it.
and it wasn't even that. It was just the positive, enthusiastic language sometimes that I use. It's always to build them up and exciting, and we have a really good time in our unit meetings, and they've just been an absolute joy to coach. You see Elijah's out here with Ship getting some extra work in afterwards. I mean, it's just he's a big-time player, and having him back out on the edge, he had to play star last year a bunch, and now he's played almost pretty much 99% corner throughout the spring.
First of all, what the hell is star? So he's probably now named all the positions. Maybe that's the nickel. He's probably named them such stupid stuff that people don't even know what position they're actually playing. If you don't know, Geoff Collins loves to overcomplicate stuff to a point that not even he can understand it, and he never understood it in the first place. But you know what? He was actually honest there. He told you, no, it's the positivity, man. It's all positivity. When you hired Geoff Collins, I'm sure you were looking for a hard-nosed, like, physical defense. I'm just telling you, this guy ain't going to give it to you.
And he's been really good for us. But just the bond that we've been able to create, the closeness in a short amount of time has been really cool.
With all your different experiences, when you've gone in and you're changing culture a
Sure.
little bit and you communicate a little bit differently, I'm sure there's a
By the way, he will change your culture. That's guaranteed. It's not going to be in the way that you want or that you think he is, but he's already changing your culture. At your spring game, your own fans, and I know this firsthand from someone who was there, didn't have a clue what the is going on. Not a clue. And that's what your players are going to feel like game day. I've seen it.
point where you see where each unit gets it, where they
Right.
sort of connect with it. Is this unit at that point where they get it so far? They're fully connected with your style and approach?
So I think 2 Thursdays ago, we had we had a really good practice, and you could just see the confidence and the understanding of our blitz packages and our different schematics that we're using, the confidence. And then you saw it a bunch today as well. We shut some guys down early, but you could just see them flying around, being confident, communicating at a high level. And
There we go. Get used to that word. Communicating at a high level. We're running around. We're doing blitzing. We're doing tackling. Yeah, like all he's doing is just throwing a bunch of words at you. I think that might even be on the bingo card word salad. We got high level though, so I'm really happy to see that. I will give him this. He doesn't really have a stupid affect other than, your team willingly chooses to wear baby blue to match your soft-ass defense. So let's continue.
And then whenever guys make big plays, celebrating together, having fun with it. And
Look at this guy, by the way, in the background. He knows the disaster that's coming. Look how nervous he is. He keeps chopping his feet.
it's been a great journey. But I do
Either that or he's in love with Geoff Collins. It's actually weird, the looks that he's given him.
want to appreciate Coach Chiswick and all that the guys know about football. The schematics, the techniques, fundamentals, schemes. It is a very, very, very highly football intelligent group, and that's not by accident.
Yeah, we can tell because they get the ever-loving kicked out of them every game they play defense. And this is such a loser's mentality. It's an absolute loser's mentality. Why would you compliment the previous DC that did such a great job at North Carolina? They fired him. When Key took over as interim and then head coach, he didn't say a word about Geoff Collins, and it's not any secret that they despise each other. But you don't do that anyways. It's not just Key. You just move on, do what you do. You don't compliment the loser you're taking over for. He's about to know what Chiswick felt like, though. He's about to be in the same position.
I've been able to inherit some really good coaches on the staff, and the efforts that Coach Chiswick put in, just schematically, and the mentality of understanding schematics has been, something that we could really build on, and then just bringing a little different vibe or a edge or whatever it can be, hopefully it'll continue to grow all the way until preseason.
Jeff, was that talking about that one Thursday? Mac told us he thought the offense might not have got a first down one of those days. Was that?
They got plenty of them in the spring game.
In any way a wow moment for you in terms of seeing the development happen in real time?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun practice, and the interesting thing that I was able to show them afterwards. So right now when practice ends, our sports science people, our strength staff.
We've heard this before too, our sports science people. Okay, and he would talk about, man, we're clocking these guys in at practice, and they're running, 18 miles an hour average during practice. It's like, yeah, what Jeff doesn't understand is if they're running 18 miles an hour biting on the play fake and getting a wide open touchdown thrown behind them, don't really matter how fast you're moving. Jeff gets all caught up in all the glam and the sparkly and the cool and he might as well go work for these tech companies. Like everything now, like this microphone. Oh my God, this microphone has got quantum AI machine learning technology in it. You need it. You need it. They're just words. You know what AI machine learning and all that, when they pair that with some product, means? Costs more. That's all it means.
Takes all of their catapult data and they run the numbers. And by the time I get back to the lab, that data is going to be on where I sit in the lab. And that day was the highest speeds, highest player loads of the first 5 practices. And I explained to them, it's not necessarily the schematics that are making this the possibility to be really successful. It's how we're playing the game with the energy and the speed and the effort and flying around and just being able to show that. And then maybe a practice that we didn't have that edge, we didn't have those same results, and then I show them the numbers relative to that.
I heard the same thing his entire time at Georgia Tech. And I know you guys you're under the delusion it's going to work for you with him being a DC and he's just a head coach that didn't work out. This is the exact same line of BS we heard at Tech. Every week we heard about how great practice was, how fast guys were running around, all the sports science metrics, AI, machine learning. We heard that every week. And it didn't amount to jack all crap. Let's see if we've hit anything. I think we're definitely. I won't hit word salad yet, but we're on our way. We're certainly on our way. And by the way, the fact that maybe your offense is getting stopped by Geoff Collins' defense, all that means is now that your offense sucks just as bad as your defense has. Again, Mac Brown's going to quit at the end of the season. He's going to insta-retire.
As well, so.
Are those results, I'm sorry, real quickly, are those results great communicators? Are those results themselves the information?
Yes, yeah.
In and of themselves?
And just show them the data points that this is, we can assign and attribute different factors to why we had success, but an overarching factor is how hard you played today. We did some good things and you executed at a high level. All those things are really good, but you compound that with how hard you play. That's what gives you a chance to have success.
Absolutely wrong. The only thing that matters is winning. Jeff has never understood that, as evidenced by the extreme lack of winning he did. The only thing that matters is winning. I don't care how fast you're moving around on the field, how good you look in your pads, how many armbands you have on, how cool your jersey looks. None of that matters at the end of the day. All right? What matters is winning football games. And you're gonna be sorely disappointed this season. I think we should go ahead. It's not Jeff's fault that he has a stupid affect. It's just the stupid colors that y'all picked for your school. We'll go ahead and we'll choose that. This sports science, you could kind of throw that into some of these, but anyways, let's keep listening.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking to Cayman the other day, and he was saying that before he had his surgery, he was kind of staying around to get some of the installs and things like that. How, crucial was it for him to, kind of be around for that period before, obviously?
What were the last 2 words? Again, he can't wait for you to get your question out so he can he can open up his ball lickers again. Shirt. Yep. Okay. Like he just can't wait to keep spewing the nonsense. So there we go. We're getting close to a bingo, to a Geoff Collins bingo.
You know, he's going to be out for
Sure. Yeah, he's been.
He doubled it up. Let's listen to that again. Sure, yeah. He did it twice in a row.
Around for that period before, obviously, you know.
Hold on.
I guess crucial was it for him to, you know, kind of be around for that period before, obviously, you know, he's going to be out for.
Sure. Yeah, he's been amazing. We've got some amazing guys in the group, but he stands out. He was one of the first guys I talked to when I took the job. But just the how focused he is, how much he studies. He's in there with Coach Ted, and Coach Ted Monachino is doing a tremendous job with him. But just how much he pours into it.
And by the way, can you take out whatever, you know, turd or whatever you have in your mouth? Like you're going out to do an interview, all right? And you got gum or you're chewing something or you have a lifesaver in your mouth. Spit that out, dude, and do the interview. You can't wait 20 minutes without having something in your mouth. I know he has, you know, an oral fixation, but I didn't know it was this bad.
But to want to be great, and it's going to pay off. And I appreciate him for going through that period with us and getting us really, I think, what was his last practice? Saturday? Yep. Saturday was his last practice, and he did great, and just excited for him.
Who is this fat Bam Laguerra cat in the background here, just eyeballing the camera and giving Geoff googly eyes? This is odd. Whoever does your media, you need to tilt the camera about 20 degrees to the right.
And Des Evans on the other side and Bo Atkinson. Those are three really good players.
Who are some of those guys that Jack, or I guess now rush position with Cayman out that you kind of see? I know you mentioned Bo, but who are some of those other guys that you kind of see filling in and stepping up?
So we've played Des there some.
And why is there a guy standing about a foot away from the podium with a notepad? This is the weirdest interview I've ever seen.
As well, so him and Des and Bo have been on the field at the same time when Ruck's been out. There's some certain packages that Des will play that, and Ruck will play a different position as well. So we have all five of them on the field, or all three of those and the two inside guys. Tyler Thompson has stepped up. Jabron Harvey has shown some really good things. The two freshmen, Daniel Anderson and Curtis Simpson, they've had a chance to elevate their reps and have done some really good. They got a ton of reps out here today, and
elevate their reps. They're getting more reps. You know, he's always got to throw some jargon.
So we're excited about that position, that room as a whole.
Geoff, 10 practices in, how do you characterize what you see with this defense now?
Yeah, I think they're understanding the schematics, they're understanding the families that we do our different packages in, so we're able to build off of that moving forward. But just the way they're playing the game, playing fast, playing physical, flying around all over the field, creating turnovers. I think we had 7 yesterday, created 7 turnovers yesterday. I think we had 1 today during the scrimmage, but just creating turnovers.
It wasn't a scrimmage. They called it a practice. Now they're calling it a scrimmage again. They didn't even know what down it is. They didn't even have real referees. They had some, high school kids come out in shorts with referee shirts on and play grab ass for 2 hours while Geoff did the same thing. Again, you had Mac Brown on the intercom saying, "Oh, second down. Nope, it's actually third down. Actually, we got no idea. It's just second down from now on." Then they tried to get everyone pumped up. And no one's into it because they ain't got a clue what's going on. Welcome to Geoff Collins football.
Was getting the ball, and that is a byproduct of playing really fast, flying around. We want to play a lot of guys, and just finding the guys that can, if we can have 22 to 25 guys that are rolling through on defense, then I think it's sustainable, the effort throughout a game, and the effort sustained throughout the season as well. So we're working really hard to find those guys, who those guys are. And what we did today is we threw a lot at them. I mean, so Saturday the ACC network is here, so we'll probably.
Oh, you're finally letting the ACC network in. finally the ACC network can come now that you've done your spring game, you know, and despite your best efforts, WreckTalk has exposed you as the complete idiot that you are.
Probably be a little more base in what we show on TV. Just
He's
play
still
sound,
scared.
good fundamental football, play really hard. So today we did a lot.
It won't surprise me if when they have the ACC network come in, they do this like leading into the summer, fall camp, all that. The ACC network will come in and to eat school and film some of your practice and talk to the coach. It won't surprise me if Geoff makes them sign NDAs going in. Now you can't talk about anything you're seeing. Now we are just showing you base, but you know, we got a lot of super secret stuff going on in here. All right, don't make us black out the rest of our games this season because you can't keep your mouth shut. I mean, I'm at a point where I finally feel bad for North Carolina fans because this is the same position I was in 2-3 years ago. It's not defensible. You cannot defend what this guy's about to do. And it's already started. I said this in a live show. I'll probably link it at the end of the video. I couldn't have scripted your spring game and things leading up to it to make you look dumber as a football team than Geoff Collins did. Think about that.
A lot of pressures. We put a lot of people. I tried to put a lot of people on islands today, and just to see how they handled one-on-one situations. And so there were some good matchups today, and I thought the receivers did really good. Our corners won some, the receivers won some, but was intentional about putting them in those kind of stressful situations.
Looks like he's trying out for NSYNC. Baby, bye, bye, bye.
Situations to see who can be in that 22, 25 guys that are going to rep on Saturdays for us.
There have been conversations with Travis. Mac was telling us about him kind of living up to what the potential is. You weren't here the first 2 years, but I'm sure you've heard about how things went. Where is he right now, and maybe quickly climbing that scale?
Sure.
Probably trying to get the hell out of there.
That's our understanding, is that he is actually finally doing that. So where is he?
And I've been blessed to coach some big-time defensive tackles in my career, and Travis Shaw.
Who? I think his stats come out. Other than Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't think a guy he's ever recruited has been drafted. Where are all these big-time defensive tackles? Keon White came in the portal. So, I mean, I guess I'll give him credit for that. Other than that, who are these world beaters that he's coached up?
Is as physically gifted as them. And he's come to work every single day with a great attitude. He plays really, really hard. He's playing with technique. He's playing with fundamentals. I don't know if y'all noticed, at one point during the scrimmage, he gathered the defense up, and it was awesome. And just he sits right here during the unit meetings, and he is dialed in. He's a great young man. He's a great player, but he's actually playing the game the right way right now, preparing at a high level, studying the game plan or the schematics that we're doing.
So he's doing what he's supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, we're well into word salad now. Now, as you get further into the interview, he just keeps repeating the same thing. It's like all the idiots with the Florida State Clemson. They know exactly when they're leaving the SEC. The thing just cycles. I stopped it at a great point, too. He looks like, was it Mary Lou Who's dad or something from The Grinch? He's just going to keep, moving fast, consistency, elite, high level, metrics, moving fast, really good. I mean, the guy has been talking for 8 minutes, 50 seconds. He really hadn't said anything.
And
I'm more interested in this, I can't keep looking at this guy. Why does this guy need to be in your shot?
I'm really proud of him. So, and I told the story to the players. So at nighttime, so my wife and daughter still back in Atlanta. So nighttime, I usually tell her stories. Well, she wants to know about Daddy's football players, so I'll tell her about 3 or
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want to scare her before she goes to bed.
4 of our players a night, talk through, and I go numerical order, and I talk through the guys and tell them about the guys, where they're from, what position, height, weight, all those kind of things. With Travis, I can only talk about Travis because that's going to take me a while to talk through with his personality. Just his
I'm going to afford him the credit of this being a verified lie. I'm not going to mark it. I don't know how old his kid is. I feel like his kid's fairly young, though. My kid's 4. I feel like his kid's around the same age. And anyone who's had young kids, just think about trying. First of all, my daughter could. You know how many times my kid has asked me about what I do for a living, as a hobby here or to make a living? 0 times. I can't imagine trying to tell her, "Oh yeah, Daddy has this friend at work, Josh. Josh is a cool guy. He's really good at accounting and numbers." She can't even listen to me read a Dr. Seuss book to her without the ADD taking over. Like, this is weird. This is just flat out weird.
His spirit, and I think Javari Ritzy's playing at a really high level too, and Scoob Kevin Hester is playing at a really high level too. I mean, he's a very strong physical human, and he's just doing a really good job for us in the middle. And having those 3 guys rotating, and then we got to find out who the next one will be. Joel, Rodney Laura, those guys that are in the mix on the inside as well.
Did you recruit Kevin when he was in high school? Because he started playing that spring.
Sure.
In his junior year. Did you have much interaction?
It's the whole recruiting process when you're head coach. It all runs together. So I can't remember.
Jeff, I want
There's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, I recruit. Why can't you just answer that question? Why? Like, I don't understand this guy.
not to belabor Travis, but I did want to ask you about him too, because like AJ was saying, we've heard some pretty positive reports, and first he came in with
There's
such
another one.
hype about himself as a high school player. What have you tried to tell him? Because Mac was saying that he's had some good talks with Monachino, with Brian Simmons.
Yep.
Like, what do you want Travis hearing from you?
Well, one of the biggest things is with all of this is the relationship piece. I've tried to go out of my way to build relationships with these guys because, A, I want to know them. If you're going to coach somebody and you're going to get the most out of them, you need to know, what makes them tick and who they are. And I think just having the relationships, having a good relationship with Travis and being able to find, his motivation, where his buttons are, all those kind of things so he can get the most out of his God-given ability. I think that's the huge piece. And then I think Coach Brown, it's such an honor to get to work for him, but just the people that Coach Brown has surrounded these players with is amazing. And the level of care that each individual that is in this organization has for our players, from the nutrition staff to the training room, the strength and conditioning, the player development office. I mean, it's special. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason, and just surrounding the guys with positive people is just awesome.
Even if you're a North Carolina fan, does anyone care about what he's saying right now?
Communication staff.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. My bad, Jeremy.
Also with Travis, obviously very, vocal guy, especially today. How much do you see, I guess, his vocal presence also kind of being asked? You mentioned when he was gathering guys together.
Yep.
But how much of a,
Yeah, he's awesome to be around. So we do a thing on scrimmage days where we'll have unit meetings, and at the beginning of unit meetings, usually I'll just start and go through the awards from the previous practice, whatever. But on scrimmage days, we start the thing off. You got to find 3 people that aren't at your position and dap them up and give them some love.
Oh my God. So this is something he mandates? Hey guys, I'm mandating dapping today. I mean, this is what this guy's concerned with. This is what you got hired. This is what he's spending his time doing. I was not ready for that.
Well, Travis does every single kid on the defense. I mean, he's dapping up the coaches, the GAs, every single player. So he's just a fun energy and personality to be around.
Who is the voice in the defense?
North Carolina, you had, 20 seconds of an interview. Geoff Collins talks about dapping.
Power Eccles. Power Eccles. He's awesome. And
learned from Cedric Gray last year.
Sure.
Power early on wasn't super vocal.
Sure.
So how have you seen that since you arrived?
Yeah, he's awesome. And this is a little side note, but we started, yesterday was my birthday, and we had a unit meeting, and right when I started the unit meeting, Power had them all sing happy birthday. It was a cool moment. But he's the one that breaks the defense down at the end of every meeting. He works so hard. He's so driven. He's so focused.
Happy birthday to Jeffrey. Happy birthday to you.
Him and Cayman do a great job with the mentality, the mindset, the focus of the entire unit. And I think one of the guys that's emerging as well is Des Evans. As a presence, as a leader, he's playing really hard. He had a tremendous offseason, and he's liked and respected by all the guys. So it's been nice to see a bunch of guys have stepped up. Stick Lane, I can say a lot of people that have done Huzzy, that have done a nice job in the leadership role that we need to continue to grow.
Do they not have chairs in there? The only two guys I see other than Jeff are these two guys standing right in front of his ugly face.
Your defense, Jeff, if you were a corner or, a DB, do you have to be ready to get in there and harass the quarterback? I mean, like, it looks like those guys.
Sure.
You got them coming.
Yeah, we're not going to talk too much schematics, but yes, it's an aggressive defense, and there's for pretty much every.
What is he so afraid of? He's more concerned with concealing his scheme than coaching your team. I guarantee you that. We're gonna even count that. Like this whole thing's weird. Something else is going on there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he's embarrassed by, but there's something bad wrong in Chapel Hill right now. Like every other question, like we're not going to talk too much about schematics. I mean, it's a big secret, super secret. Well, I've never heard another coach in college football talk like this or do this. Like, I'm sorry for you, North Carolina. I'm sorry. He wasn't even this weird about stuff like this when he was at Tech.
Everybody within the scheme has their opportunity or multiple opportunities to add pressure to the quarterback. But the biggest thing, too, is they got to be able to cover and just understand the nuances of the leverage.
Yeah, I would imagine defensive backs have to be able to cover. Good one for Jeff. Let's all applaud for Jeff.
That we play in the different coverages, those kind of things. There were 2 balls that we got beat on today. It was just pure leverage by the young guys. And then just understanding the seam divider rules, all those kind of things. It takes time, and as multiple as we are, but they'll get it because they're talented enough to do it. But there is my job, the way I see it as a coordinator, is to constantly move stress around. I don't want one position or one guy to be stressed out 70 plays of every game. Sure, yeah. So my job, the way I see it, is just moving that stress.
They're going to be playing for you.
Around and making sure the guys are in the right spot and taking stress off of them so they can make some plays.
And maybe along with that, do you see, I understand it's April 11th or whatever
Sure.
it is. I mean, do you see the pieces, do you think you have the pieces to pressure the way you want to?
I do. And
yeah, I do. Yeah.
We're throwing a lot at them, and as I learn what different guys can do, sure, yeah. I'll know, what their strengths are, where things need to be moved around to help them. So that's part of the paradigm, whatever, that we're trying to work through. That we're throwing a lot at them. So like today wasn't a game plan thing. I was just cycling through calls to put different guys in stressful situations, and a bunch of guys rose to the occasion and had a bunch of pressure, and it'll be good to go back and watch the tape.
We got time for one more.
When we talked to you in January.
Oh, he's the media guy. Okay. Maybe he ate the other media guy.
You spoke about how much you missed it when you were
Yeah.
out. Some of the things you did to go around and see it.
Yep.
You could smell it and taste
Yep.
it, but you can't dive in there and coach.
100%.
Now that you're, 4 months in, I
Right.
guess, 10 practices in the spring.
Right.
How much does that kind of reinforce how much you missed it
Right.
Last year? And how did maybe missing it help you?
So I'm very appreciative of every single day that I get to come in here and work for Coach Brown and be around these guys, to be in the lab. I mean, I have a blast. There's like 10 of us that sit in the lab all day, every day, and watch the practices, watch old tape, watch our future opponents tape, all those kind of things, and just sitting there and talk ball. I miss my wife and daughter dearly, right? Because they're still back in Atlanta. They'll be up for the spring game. And is this time for a plug for the spring game?
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody comes out and supports the guys because they've been working so hard and they need your support. But my wife and daughter.
Wait. This is before the spring game?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
This is before the spring game. Well, I watched the spring game, and
to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Their spring game was the most unorganized. I've already talked about it. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. He actually promoted that circus. Are you serious? Wow.
Daughter will be up here. Thankful to them for being able to give me this opportunity to be here, do what I love to do with people that I've grown to love in a very.
Oh, guys, I didn't even notice. We got a bingo. We got a bingo right here. We had it several minutes ago. Well, we knew we were gonna. Let's listen to him promote a spring game that not a single North Carolina fan understood anything about watching it.
Short time, and I'm having an absolute blast. And I'm getting to learn from a Hall of Famer and just coach defense and draw up some blitzes and some cool coverages and come out here and yell and scream and get hyped for 2 hours. I'm having a blast.
That's not a coach. That's a man role-playing a coach. That's what you have. Beginning of the show, I said, oh, yeah, it's like you got the special kid out there. This is a guy. This is the special kid. Look at him. I get to pretend that I'm actually a coach and I'm one of the boys.
Do some push-ups when guys hit the quarter.
You saw that? Well.
People like that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Where did money down come from? I know when you were Georgia Tech, all this.
It goes. So at Florida.
We're going to get the genesis of money down. Wow.
So my first spring at the University of Florida with Jim McElwain, I think it was practice 3, we were going to do third downs. And Mac was like, we need to come up with something cool, something that makes sure guys understands the situation, all of these things. So this was Jim McElwain saying this, and I go in there and I just start bouncing it around. I'm like, well, let's go out there and call it money down. Let's make some signs. I think somebody still has the original money down sign that was drawn in Sharpie, and it just kind of took off and has followed me wherever we've gone, and the emphasis on it around here is huge. I think in the scrimmage Saturday we were, 15 of 20 getting third down stops. So it's, winning on first down, winning on second down creates good third down opportunities. We're ahead of the sticks, and
not when Geoff Collins is coaching you, by the way. It would not surprise me if the entire time that Geoff was the head coach at Georgia Tech, and he was heavily involved with the defense, we gave up 50 or more 3rd and 20 or longer. So it doesn't matter how good you do or first or second down with Geoff. There's no third down long enough that someone's not going to convert on you. I cannot believe, after what happened at Tech, he's proud to bring money down there. Wow.
So we're working on that every single day. But that's where it started, University of Florida. Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about Georgia Tech.
All righty.
Well, guys, that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed that. If you're a North Carolina fan, you didn't. But look, let's just play. Never mind. We did get a bingo. Look, I like to have fun. I had to suffer this idiot for what? Nearly 4 years. So I get to have a little fun on the back end. I talk about The Big Short all the time. I feel like I have, I see it happening. I see the crash that North Carolina's about to go through. I know it before most other people, and I get to profit off of it by laughing my ass off. Mark my words, neither one of these guys is making it to next year. Matt Brown's going to retire. You're going to struggle to make a bowl with this idiot and the staff that he's put together for you. It's not going to be a good time. Type how much you disagree and how delusional I am in the comments, just to disappear like you did after we beat your ass last year. Y'all have a good one.